Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BNN. So on 23rd October, Karo Radul posted to social media talking about the plight of our Kenyan's netball team when they went to South Africa to represent Kenya in the World Championships and they were stranded. This is what she had to say. Try not to cry. This is our national women's netball team. They left last Thursday night to participate in the Africa Cup of Championships in Cape Town, 18th to 23rd October. Government got them air tickets and visas. On arrival at the hotel on Friday morning, they were denied entry because your government has not paid. The girls went to the tournament venue, showered in a gym, and played the first game later that day on empty stomachs. A Kenyan who lives in Cape Town and knew one team member felt sorry for them, bought them bread and milk, and took them to a lodge owned by a Cameroon lady who agreed to house them as your government settles the bill. The Cameroonian lady has been feeding them what she can afford to at her cost, but most of the time the girls sleep hungry. They have lost all their matches. The girls are due to leave tomorrow, though the lodge owner will remain with some passports until the bids are cleared. When contacted yesterday by officials from the team, the government allegedly said, before issuing payment for hotels, we need 3 different codes to show why a particular hotel was selected. That was yesterday. The girls have been hustling since Friday morning. I broke down while speaking to someone on the ground a few minutes ago. I have tried to call the sports ministry, but no answer. This is shameful and disgusting. These girls deserve better, and sadly, this isn't the first time facing such an issue. This is the shame of representing Kenya in sport. This story brought about the hashtag shame of representing Kenya, as Kenyans were clearly upset by the circumstances that these girls were going through, clearly begging in another country while they were representing Kenya. Amina Mohamed, the Cabinet Secretary of Sports, was condemned for this story, and it was well deserved. How can she just sit back and watch our girls begging in another country? She earned herself the title Minister of Congratulations, as in the past she has been quick to congratulate athletes on their accomplishments, riding on their waves while on the ground not doing much to support them. Other sportsmen and women came forward with their own stories. For example, this Philip, who played for the Kenyan rollball team, he said in a tweet he's been playing for the rollball team for the last 8 years and has never been paid. He showed us medals and his trophies, and if you guys are wondering what exactly rollball is, this is what rollball is. So what do you guys think is wrong with the sports ministry? Is it lack of funds? Is this misappropriation and mismanagement of funds? Is it blatant incompetency by everyone in management? What exactly is going on in that ministry? A Kenyan newspaper, People Daily, reported on 23rd October that the sports ministry paid a contractor 88 million Kenya shillings to cut grass at the Marsabit Stadium. Like, how? The budget for reconstructing that stadium was pegged at 295 million, and 88 million has been already spent paying a contractor to just cut grass. The contractor cleared the ground and dug trenches and cut grass and then disappeared with the money. I will link the article in the description and in the pinned comment so you guys can go and read on the story. President Uhuru Kenyatta in the beginning of the year appointed Mudi Awori to head a board that would oversee the funds spent at the sports ministry. And Mr. President, so what the hell is he doing there if these things are still happening in that ministry? He defended his decision when he got a lot of backlash for appointing a 91-year-old man to a position while young people are out here struggling and unemployed. And he said, this old man anaweza chunga hii pesa, he can take care of the money and he will not steal. So Mr. President, call Amina Mohamed, call Mudi Awori. We need an explanation of what the hell is actually going on here. By the way, I want to correct a statement I made in a previous video when I was talking about unemployment in Kenya. I said that President Kenyatta justified his reasons for hiring Mudi Awori by saying that Mudi Awori is rich enough, he does not need to steal. I want to correct that statement. A subscriber called me out saying that at no point did he hear Uhuru Kenyatta saying that, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I got my stories mixed up. It was actually Raila Odinga who said those words, that Mudi Awori is rich enough and he can sustain himself and does not need to steal. And here's the video.
In politics, Opposition Chief Raila Odinga has defended President Uhuru Kenyatta's move to appoint former Vice President Mudi Awori as the chairman of the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund. Now, according to Odinga, old age does not mean that someone cannot positively contribute to the country's development, and that Awori is a self-sufficient man who does not have the urge to loot from public coffers.
Sports fund which has been created, and I've seen a lot of hula baloo about the appointment of Mr. Mudi Awori to chair. without you being a 91-year-old to chair a board. What is chairing a board? It's a part-time thing. Maybe that board meets once in 3 months. And these allowances, which Moody does not need any money, that kind of money. Moody is somebody who is financially self-sufficient. So he's just going to dedicate his services to the people. I don't think it would be right for you to say that if you reach 90, 91, then you should just be one track to the grave. There may be many things that you can do with the kind of experience that you have.
So I retract the statement. It's not Uhuru Kenyatta who actually said that. It was Raila Odinga. And to my subscribers, if you disagree with something I said, please be respectful. It is not that hard. You can criticize, you can disagree, but please be respectful. This guy Simba just said a lot of shit in that comment, which I did not actually like. But since we are here for the truth, I do make mistakes and I do own up to them. But I'm sure all of you are aware this isn't the first time the sports ministry has disappointed Kenyans. A Kenyan girl by the name Susan Gatwiri in 2015 represented Kenya at the Special Olympics, bagging 2 gold medals in the 3,000 and 5,000 race. She was promised 200,000 for every medal she brought home, and this is 5 years down the line and she has not seen a single penny of that money. The government was contacted for a response to this and all calls by the media went unanswered as they are pretending it didn't happen. Susan Gatwiri now works as a house help, earning 7,000 a month, trying to provide for her family.
Our attention to Susan Gatwiri's predicament was drawn by one Facebook user who in his post shared a painful story of the one-time world champion. In the long post, Susan was said to be working as a house girl even as her peers continued with their studies in Form 3. We sought to find the girl and we ended in the remote village of Judea, Kieni East constituency in Nyeri County. We found the once polished gem back in the rough. This is the state of the place where Gatwiri calls home, the dilapidated building tucked away in the bush, knowing only too well the potential of the world beater it has housed for years. We found her immediate family here, looking at us with suspicious glare, understandably after seeing one too many visitors coming to see their daughter with very little, if anything, to help. Gatwiri won 2 gold medals in the 2015 Special Olympics, earning her a moment of fame and an opportunity to rub shoulders with the high and mighty. But that, it seems, was to be the only reward she got from her impressive performance.
After 1 week, nikaitwa tena, nikapigiwa simu, nikaambiwa ukuje tunaenda kwa Margaret Kenyatta. Nikaenda. Tulienda, si kwa mimi peke yangu, tulikuwa na wenye tulikuwa nao kwa mbio. Tulienda tukasherekea na tukapewa certificate, lakini hakuna kitu tulipewa.
It is at this school where her talent was realized. Her former teachers are disappointed.
So I got curious about this sports ministry. Is it the money? Is it their budget? Do they not have enough money? NTV Kenya reported earlier in the year the budget allocation that the sport ministry had offered the government.
The 2019-2020 financial year will see the government dig deep to ensure Kenya maintains its status as a sporting powerhouse at home and abroad. With Harambee Stars playing the AFCON, the Safari Rally being a candidate event for the World Rally Championship, the Kenya Open joining the European Tour and preparations for the IAAF World Under-20 gathering pace, finances will be the key. The Sports Fund is seen as the solution to financing sports, and its actualization has inched closer. Brian Atwell has the details.
The Ministry of Sports has tabled budgetary estimates in Parliament to ensure the participation and success of Kenyan teams in 5 major international assignments this year. Harambee Stars is set to play in AFCON for the first time in 15 years. Sebastian Minye's Chargers still have a qualification game against Ghana, and a training camp is scheduled for France ahead of AFCON. To cater for all this, a budget of 244 million shillings has been estimated.
The full job physically will be down in France, if it's possible. If it's not possible, it will be terrible for us.
This year's Safari Rally will be a World Rally Championship candidate event. To enable Kenya make a return to the WRC after a 17-year absence, a budget of a whopping 400 million shillings budget has been proposed. Kenya's premier golf tournament, the Kenya Open, has been upgraded this year to a European Tour event that will tee off next month at the current country club. The ministry has penciled in 200 million shillings to ensure that the Open is magical. With the successful hosting of the World Under-18 tournament in 2017, Kenya won the rights to host the 2020 IAAF World Under-20 Championships. To ensure that preparations are world-class, a budget of 66 million shillings has been drawn. The estimates were presented to the Committee of Sports, Culture and Tourism by top sports ministry officials led by Permanent Secretary Ambazakirimi Kaberia.
This budget accrued to nearly 1 billion Kenya shillings, and a few months later, Capital FM reports that the Sports, Culture and Arts Ministry were allocated around 5.3 billion Kenya shillings. So it's clearly they have the money. Clearly they asked for 1 billion, they were given 5.3 billion to share between this department. And in this article by Capital Kenya, there's this sentence that this money was being funded by betting firms, and that is the joke of the day, since the government this year has been at war with betting firms all over Kenya, and they've had to close shop and fire employees. So what is the government's plan to raise this kind of money next year? Another sentence I found very interesting in this article was that the government spent 200 million in last year's budget allocated to building the sports academy. And during my research, I found this report by the sports ministry of Dr. Hassan's achievements in 2013-2014. They featured this sports academy being 55% complete in 2014, and I don't know even how much money was spent at this point. So now it is 5 years later. This project has not been finished. If you look at the Kenya Sports Academy website, this is how the building looks. So 5 years down the line and it's not complete, and they're still allocating 200 million Kenya shillings to this project. So what happened to the initial money that was allocated to it? What happened to it? And in the 5 years, what has been done? Because this project was slated to be completed in 3 years. So it's now 2 years past its due date. So what the hell is actually happening in Kenya? Anyway, guys, that's all from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!